Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we have to talk about the new Emperor's Children reveals. Recently we got the announcement from Games Workshop about the new Fulgrim miniature. I'm going to leave the link in the description in case that you're interested. But today we have to talk about the new army set and also all the new miniatures. So of course, as usual, I would like to share my opinion and my first impressions with all of you, and I invite you to let me know what you think about all these new miniatures in the comments. Okay, so let's start talking about the army set, and after that we can focus into each unit and character individually. Personally, I love this army set. I like it a lot. I think that it's a really good one. I like the contents. I mean, like all of them, we have the codex, we have transfers, and we have the data cards. But we have 33 miniatures. I like that number a lot. And it's not only that we have like a lot of miniatures inside, there's also the type of miniatures that we have. We have 20 of the basic battle line unit of the army. It's 2 units of 10, but as they mentioned, we can assemble them in 2 different ways, so like that they are going to be 2 different type of units. That's great. I like that a lot because it's not like we are just having 20 of the same. No, we can have 10 and 10, which is great, or we can have all the same depending on what we want, which is great as well. I like a lot when in the army sets we have like the basic battle line units of the army, because that makes everything easier, and it's like we are starting an army, we need to get like the basic units as well, not only the most fancy ones. Aside from that, we have 12 noise marines, 2 units of 6, and that makes me extremely happy because when I think about Emperor's Children, the most iconic unit that they have for me are the Noise Marines, of course, and probably for everyone. So having 2 units in the army set is awesome, because it's like the unit that you want when you collect Emperor's Children, because as I said, it's the most iconic unit that they have. And finally, we have an Emperor's Children character, a Lord Exultant, and I repeat this all the time. I'm extremely happy when we get a generic character like this one, a generic Lord, and we have like a lot of different options for customization. I like when we can do this with a generic character, so I'm extremely happy that this character is part of the army set. Anyway, I don't have to tell you what's inside of the box because you already knew that. It's just that I wanted to explain specifically why I like these miniatures inside of the army set and why I like the army set. And with that being said, now we can focus a little bit more into the miniatures because of course I would like to share my first impressions as well. Okay, let's start with the miniatures that are part of the army set and then we can continue with the rest of them. First, let's talk about the Infractors and Tormentors because it's the same box, it's the same kit, it's just that we can assemble them in 2 different ways. So apparently they are sharing the same body, and depending on the weapon choices that we go for them, they are going to be one unit or a different one. These 2 are the most basic Emperor's Children unit, and for me, I feel like maybe they are too basic. I'm not in love with them. I'm not saying that I don't like them or that I think that they look bad. No, I like the miniature by itself. It's just that if you tell me that this is the basic battle line unit of the Emperor's Children, I will be a little bit sad, because if I compare this unit with Corn Berserkers, Rurik Marines or Plague Marines, I think that those ones look much better and much more unique. These ones remind me maybe too much of the Legionnaires of the Chaos Space Marines, and personally I like a little bit more the Legionnaires. These ones maybe remind me a little bit more of the Horus Heresy Space Marines because of the helmets for sure, but maybe that's the point, so I'm not going to judge that. As I said, I think that the miniature by itself looks okay. It's just that I'm not in love with it, and when I see them it's like I'm not super happy about them. Actually, to be honest, I would like to have at least 10 of these miniatures and paint them to see how they will feel once I paint them on my own style and with a different color scheme that I would like to use. And like that, probably I would like them much more. It's not the first time that I see a miniature and it's like, I'm not in love with it, but once that I have it assembled and painted, it's like, okay, I enjoyed the experience. I think that they look good and they are more fun than I expected. Regarding the Noise Marines, they are just perfect. I mean, I don't have a single complaint about them. They look perfect. I love those weapons. I love how they feel heavy. I like them a lot. And if I look at them and you say to me, these are Noise Marines, I will be like, yes, these are Emperor's Children Noise Marines. They feel like Emperor's Children Noise Marines. And that's awesome. I love the weapons, I love the amount of details in the armor of these miniatures, I love the helmets, I think that those helmets look super cool, and I especially like those big speakers in the back, because I like the vibe that they have. For me that's super important. I feel like these ones are proper Emperor's Children Space Marines. It feels great that finally we have a proper Noise Marine unit, not just an upgrade for Chaos Space Marines, and I think that the final result is awesome. I mean, I really like what I see here. The amount of detail is crazy. I love all the details in the power armor, especially I like the little bit of we can see of the shoulder pads. I like the weapons, I like the back of the miniatures, the helmet. I don't know. I look at them and I cannot find anything to complain about them. Especially if I compare them with the previous unit. These ones feel like a big upgrade, so of course it's like it's a unit that feels very good to me. And now let's talk about the Lord Exultant of the Emperor's Children. I have to say the same thing that I say all the time. I love when there's a generic character that has like a lot of different options, because thanks to that, if one day I have my own generic Emperor's Children character and you have your own generic Emperor's Children character, they can be different and they can have like different style, poses, weapons. So that's something that I like and I always appreciate. I especially like this one with a combination of the spear and the power fist, because I especially like the fists, and in this specific case the spear looks super unique on him, so that's something that I also like a lot. And I don't know, I feel like he looks super cool. The cape looks fantastic. The amount of details in that power armor is really good, much better than in the previous miniatures that I mentioned, which of course makes sense because this is a character and he needs to stand out over the rest of the miniatures. I like the pose a lot, and I don't know, what can I say, I like all the symbols that this miniature has. I think that is a really cool character. And here we have the exact same miniature, it's just that here it's painted in a slightly different way. We have different weapon loadouts and this time we don't have a helmet. And again, it feels good, I mean, because they managed to make the pose feel natural too. Not only the previous one, but this one also feels super natural. I'm very happy about that. And again, it looks really cool for a character. I have to say that this looks like a Emperor's Children character. Again, same character, different weapons, and until now we saw 6 different arms, 6 different weapons, and 2 different heads. And I want to repeat the same, it makes me super happy when we see a generic character and we have like a lot of customization options, because like that it's much better, because this is a generic character, we should be able to customize it, it should be very easy to customize. And in this specific case I'm very impressed with what they managed to achieve, because the body is exactly the same, we are just changing the head and the arms, and the poses are slightly different, or at least they feel slightly different, but all of them they feel super natural and they don't feel like the exact same miniature with different weapons. So as I said, I really like this generic Emperor's Children character. Okay, now we have to talk about the Lord Kakophonist. I don't know why, but I love this character, I think that it looks super cool. And even if with this one we don't have that many customization options, because we can just change the head and we can give him a pistol plus sword or 2 pistols, I still like a lot this character. He's full of details, he has like a huge backpack that I like a lot, I think that it looks super cool. I guess that this is the character that we're going to attach to the Noise Marines. And I don't know, I like this one a lot, I think that he has like a super cool pose, like he's ready to fight. And I don't know, I especially like to see him with the 2 pistols, I think that it looks super interesting. And I don't know, I like a lot specifically this miniature, and I'm not sure about why. I especially like the helmet and these tubes that came out from the chest. I think that it looks super interesting, and I'm not sure. I guess that at some point I will try to paint this character because it's like calling me. And at this point I would like to mention that I like a lot how they add the green to the color scheme, because I think that it suits very nicely with the black and the pink. I think that it looks very interesting. I will try to do something different if I paint these miniatures, but still I like the decision that they made for the color scheme of these miniatures, even if I will paint them in a different way. Now we're going to talk about the Flawless Blaze, the last unit that they revealed today. And regarding these ones, I really want to compare the size of these miniatures with the previous ones that we saw, the battle line ones, because I think it's going to be an interesting comparison. Especially because I do think that the bigger they are, the more that I'm going to like them, because this is supposed to be like this elite unit, and I really want them to pop out inside of the army, like, okay, here they are, I can see them clearly and they look majestic. I'm looking forward to them. I know that some people didn't like too much those heads, but for me they're okay, because of course it's about Slaanesh, it's super related to the Aeldari, and I'm okay with these kind of heads in them. I mean, this is the Legion that is the one that serves Slaanesh, so I guess that we have to have all those symbols in these miniatures and we have to have all the characteristic elements, so I'm happy about that, I'm not going to complain, but I know that we have like different heads for them and we also have like helmets and things like that, so even if we don't like these ones, it's okay, there's more choices. Because even if I say that I'm okay with them, I don't like them that much as well, But I do like these miniatures. I like a lot the swords that they have. They look super interesting. I really like the poses of these ones because I especially like the pose of the one that is like walking slowly to the front. I think it looks super interesting, and I like the hair of the one that appears in the bottom. I think that it looks super, I don't know, fun. It's fun. I like that kind of thing. At this point, I would like to mention that I'm starting to like a little bit more the battle line units, because if we compare these ones, like the Noise Marines, the characters, and this specific unit that they are like full of details, I can see like, okay, we have all the detail and these kind of things for the main elite units, and for the battle lines they are more simple. I'm starting to like that, because like that they look much better if we compare them, so I'm starting to like them a little bit more. To finish with these miniatures, I just want to say that I especially like that they are showing their muscles. It looks very... it's something that I will expect from them, so it makes me happy to see these kind of things. And of course, like that, they have like more different elements than the other miniatures that we saw already. Again, lots of details, nice poses, nice weapons, options for customization. I like what I see here. And to finish with the reveals, now we have to talk about Lucius the Eternal. Like really, of course, let me know what you think about this miniature. Because to me, they did a perfect job with this miniature. I mean, it doesn't matter where I look, I'm going to find a lot of nice details that I like a lot. Like starting from the base, we have an iron hands there. So it's like, okay, this is a perfect choice for the base of Lucius the Eternal. Then we have a lot of skin, then we have a lot of faces coming out from the armor that looks super interesting. Of course, the good thing here is that even if this paint job is a little bit darker, we can enhance those faces and they're going to look much more noticeable. But I like this subtle vibe, so I'm happy with that, and I especially like how the color scheme looks in this miniature. I'm not in love with the whips, but for this one, I really like how it comes out from the shoulder pad, like from one of the heads that are coming out from the shoulder pad, and he's like grabbing it. I think it looks super cool, it looks very interesting, and the pose looks very nice. I hope that it's going to be like thick enough, so it's going to be very resistant, and we shouldn't worry about that breaking, because it looks super cool and makes the miniature look much nicer. And talking about tongues, I love the tongue of Lucius. Like it's like coming out in the armor. It looks funny to me. I like that. I prefer that rather than having it like going away. So I'm happy with that decision, and I'm really in love with the head of the miniature, because he doesn't even look human anymore, and that looks super. I don't know, I like a lot when I see that. It looks interesting, it looks very unique, I have to say. And again, I really like how they decided to add green to the miniatures, because I think that that combination of colors looks very interesting, and I'm very happy about that as well. I got even a little bit inspired by the color scheme of these miniatures, but again, Lucius looks awesome. And I have to talk now about the sword. That sword looks magnificent to me, like out of place. I never expected to see this kind of swords in 40k, but I really like how this one specifically looks in Lucius, so I'm very happy about that as well. It's like a super cool looking sword. I don't know, I usually pay attention to the weapons. We saw a lot of nice weapons today in these miniatures, but Lucius, he's having like the nicest sword that I have seen in a while. So again, it doesn't matter where I look at this miniature, there's always something fun going on, or something interesting, something that looks good. So again, I think that they really did a good job with this miniature. And these are all the new miniatures for the Emperor's Children. I think that this is a very good start. This is like a very nice foundation for in the future have more miniatures and have like a really nice looking army. And I like the variation of miniatures that we saw today. I have to say that I like them a lot. I would like to try to get some of them in the future at some point. For sure I will try to make like a different color scheme, twist things a little, you know. But as I said, I like a lot the new miniatures. I'm very happy with them. I cannot complain. I think that they look very Emperor's Children, very Slaanesh, and that's the point. Even if there are things that I don't like too much or that I don't love, I think that overall the range of miniatures is very good. And basically these are my first impressions about these miniatures. For sure I would like to see them in person, check the instructions, see all the possibilities that they have, but that's something for the future. My first impressions are very positive, and of course at this point I would like to invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about all of these new miniatures. And with all of that being said, this is the end of the video, so of course as always, if you're still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.